Well, here we are. This is the gladiator match of the century. Godzilla versus Kong. And yeah, guys, let's just talk about it. Hey everyone, my name is SDub Nation. And now before we start the review, comment down below, what did you guys think of Godzilla versus Kong? Who were you rooting for? I was Team Kong. We all saw how that turned out. So guys, check out my Twitter. That's going to pop up on your screen right now. Without further ado, let's just get right into this review because I have a lot of great things to talk about. This movie, I had so much hype going into it. It's my number one highest anticipated movie of 2021. So let's just get right into the good. And the good thing that comes to mind here is that the CGI is just great. I mean, for the budget of this film and for the budget of other big blockbusters, the CGI on these monsters and everything going on and just the mayhem, it is really great. Like, you zoom in on Kong's face some scenes, and it feels like you're actually looking at a real gigantic monkey in front of your face. Like, it's so cool. And I love the fact that, speaking of Kong, it's very Kong focused. This movie touches more on Kong's backstory, a little bit more on the mythos of Kong, and just Kong as basically a person. I mean, he gets most of the screen time inside of this film, and we'll touch on the negatives of that later. But Kong is just really great and a big standout inside of this film. Like I said, the mythos is expanded more, so you get more of just everything that you love about just the mythology of like these two gigantic titans. Now, obviously, I would have loved to see that big gigantic war that they had, but I think that the fights inside of this film was handled very perfectly. I love Kong's relationship with the little girl, the little deaf girl inside of the film. I thought Team Kong was great inside of this film. I thought everything dealing with them and their relation to Kong, I thought all of that was pretty great. And along with this film being very Kong focused, Kong feels very sympathetic in this film, and also in Kong Skull Island he did also. But in this, it feels like his movie instead of a versus crossover. I love the fights inside of this film. Like I said, though you do feel the time when trying to get to the fights, I thought the fights were actually handled pretty well. The overall monster mayhem going along with the CGI inside of this film is definitely worth it. Just seeing Kong and Godzilla get some great hits on each other makes this film all the more enjoyable, because that's what you came here for. You came here to see two gigantic monsters just battle each other, and it's so cool. Like, the scale of these giants and also the scale of the movie is huge, along with the stakes, because these are just two titans fighting each other, destroying buildings and basically destroying Hong Kong in the process. They keep the power levels equals inside of the fights, and you may think going inside of the fights they're gonna make it unfair, more biased towards Godzilla because he has two movies, or more biased towards Kong because he has an axe now. But they actually keep the power levels pretty equal. I think that was actually a very good touch. Obviously, one of them had the more biased thing, but I thought everything going on with the fights, the CGI, and just Kong himself was actually pretty great. But with that being said, there are some negatives, so let's move right into the bad. And the bad thing that comes to mind here is that Godzilla is barely in this movie. For a film named Godzilla versus Kong, he is barely a central character. Now, yes, he has some standout scenes, but as much action that I wanted to see out of Godzilla and Kong themselves, I really didn't get that inside of this film. Mechagodzilla feels very rushed, even though I did enjoy its scenes. The human plots, as you can tell, are the most boring and also are the worst part about this movie. And you definitely feel the weight of the time before even getting into the fights, especially when you're focusing on Millie Bobby Brown and her whole posse. I just really did not like that arc, especially with Kong's team being so great, and especially with Kong having most of the scenes, and with them focusing on Godzilla's team a little bit. I really didn't like Millie Bobby Brown inside of this film, but I can't say that she was a lot better in King of the Monsters than she was in this, and I didn't like her in King of the Monsters at all. The overall plot to get Kong to Hollow Earth was kind of weird and a little bit choppy. Like, if I rewatch the movie again for a second time, I can probably find a little bit more context on why. But to me, at that point while I was watching it, I'm like, okay, get to the fights. Like, where's the fights? That's what I came here for. I came here to see Godzilla fight Kong. Like, that's what I wanted to see. And I wanted to see more Godzilla scenes, and I wanted to see more fights. I wanted to see more fights, basically. And the fact that we focus so much on Kong inside of this film for the outcome of the fight to be what it was, it's a little bit heartbreaking, especially when the character that had 2 movies behind him wasn't even inside of this film. For the outcome to be what it was, with Kong being the central character of this film, that's very disappointing. In conclusion, this movie is definitely an epic, fun film, mostly for the fights. I mean, that's what a lot of people came here for. Kong is given so much character, and though I did like him inside of Kong Skull Island, I think I liked him way more inside of this film, and actually gives him a personality. And though Godzilla isn't inside of this film as much, I still love Godzilla. I saw the first Godzilla movie and Godzilla King of the Monsters, and Godzilla is a fantastic, like, he is a fantastic monster. Like, if I wasn't so biased towards Kong, and if I just went inside of this movie watching the Godzilla movies, I would have chose Team Godzilla. Like, easily, I would have chose Team Godzilla. But Godzilla, though he isn't inside of this film as much, there is a clear winner. Like, at the end of the fight, the director even said before, there's going to be a clear winner. Somebody's going to win. Somebody is, going to be down. Somebody's going to win. And as you watch the movie, you can definitely tell this is the clear winner. With great CGI, awesome fights, and a clear winner that didn't cheat you like how Captain America Civil War was, Godzilla vs. Kong to me is an 8 out of 10 and a B+. And I say see it. Like, just watch Godzilla vs. Kong, because it's actually really good. Especially see it in theaters, because you want to get that full experience of these 2 giants fighting each other in Hong Kong, on some boats, underwater. You want to see these 2 giants fight each other. And I thought while watching the film, everything that I wanted from this movie, I got. And I'm completely satisfied. I want to see a sequel. There obviously has to be a sequel for this movie. Like, they just can't leave it at the way they left it at. Like, I want to see them fight again. Like, this is not over. This is not over. Okay, but yeah, there is a clear winner. It's still very disappointing though. Alright guys, that was it for the review. Please note that everything that I did say in this video was just my very own opinion, and you're free to comment down below what did you think of Godzilla v Kong. Like, comment, and subscribe guys. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter that's going to pop up on your screen right now, and I will see you all next time. Peace.